frontside shove it is kind of a lame trick, honestly. Like, it's not that cool. The only thing it's good for is like front shove nose grinds. So unfortunately, you gotta watch this video if you ever wanna like hope to do a front shove nose grind. I'm just kidding. Front shoves are really cool. They're really fun to do, and especially if you're playing a game of skate, like, and you don't have them, they can be pesky. So I'm gonna teach you how to do them. But once you figure them out, they're actually really, really easy. And there's probably two little things that I changed, and then they just clicked. So before we get into the front shove, you should be able to ollie, obviously, but after that, you're ready to go. So let's get into the foot positioning for the front shove. So you want to put your front foot in the middle of the board with your toes hanging off just a little bit. And you can even move it down if you want, or a little bit more forward, but I like to put it right in the middle with my toes barely hanging off. You definitely don't want to like put your foot hanging off the edge too much. That's really bad. And you can actually put your foot completely on the board and your toes not hanging off, but I'd recommend just have your toes dangling off just a little bit. And then for your back foot, you want to put it just like you would for a kick flip, but just a little bit more on the board and a little bit closer towards the pocket. Once you have your feet all set up, the simple explanation is you want to pop down, slightly forward, and at an angle like this. And when you pop, you want to lift your foot directly up. And then you want to wait one little second and then move your foot forward. And then that's going to stop the rotation of the front shove. So pop down, forward, and a little bit at an angle. Lift your foot directly up. Wait a second for the board to spin. And then move your front foot forward, which will stop the board, and then you can land it. So that is the straightforward explanation, but obviously, as you know, when you're learning tricks, like, not everything goes right. So there's two huge problems that I had when I was learning front shoves. The first was I wasn't quite popping it enough, and it was kind of doing a weird little rocket, like, sideways maneuver. And to fix that, you really want to just pop it hard. The front shove for me is a really power trick. Like, it's not a finesse trick. I give it a lot of like oomph. I pop down really, really hard and powerful, and that just seems to snap it straight up into my feet. And then the other huge problem, and this is probably what you're experiencing, this is what most people experience, is the board flips over. So like, you do a front shove and then the board flips like a varial heel or whatever. There's two reasons that this happens. The first reason, which is like the easiest to fix, is your front foot is hanging off the board too much, or if you're in the right spot, it's still somehow flipping the board. And that's because when you pop down and out, you're sliding your foot up like you would a heel flip or an ollie. Even if it's very like slightly, you kind of slide it up the grip tape, and that makes the board flip on you. And to fix that, like I said, after you pop down, lift straight up and then out. So pop, lift your foot directly up, let the board spin a little bit, and then extend it forward. So it's like an L motion. It's like up and then out instead of popping and sliding. It's pop, up, out, boom. And if that doesn't fix it for you and the board's still flipping, it's in how you pop it. Now this is very technical and kind of there's some like finesse to it, and it's hard to explain. You kind of got to feel it. But when you pop a front shove, it's more of like a delayed pop. So normally when you do flip tricks, you give it this quick, precise like snap, like this, like down and up, down and up. Almost all tricks are like this, honestly. But with the front shove, you need to go down, and then you kind of wait to release your foot. Kind of like a pressure flip. If you can pressure flip, you know what I'm saying. But it's in between. It's not like that quick snap, and it's not like a complete like dig it into the ground and then use the pressure to pop the board up. It's somewhere in between. So it's like you pop down, wait a millisecond, and then release the pop. So it's like that. Just showing my board doing this is the best way to explain it. Like, this is a normal pop. This is a pressure flip. This is a front shove pop. Like, down and then release the snap. It's almost like you can feel the ground for a split second, and this is literally something you just gotta mess with. It's literally weird to explain. It's like a feeling, but you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And what that does is it just allows you to build up that pressure, and then it just goes and the board won't flip. And that was my problem with flipping it. I wasn't like my front foot wasn't making the board flip, but now that I'm better and kind of like messed around with the trick for a few hours, I noticed that your front foot can flip the board if you don't lift up first and then out. And then also with the snap, if you pop it like a normal kick flip, it might flip on you. So just push down, wait a second to release the pop, and then lift your leg up. And that is pretty much it. Obviously skateboarding is different for everybody, but those were the problems that I had. And I actually had a hard time learning front shoves compared to a lot of my friends. A lot of my friends just picked it up. So if you just pop down, out, and a little bit of an angle, you want to send the board like that, think of popping down in that way, and you lift your foot up and it works out for you, that's good. Don't overthink it. You just, you know, lock it in, do the trick like 3 to 5 times, and then whenever you're learning a trick, your goal should be like do the trick 3 times in a row pretty consistently, and then you kind of have the trick. It's like in muscle memory at that point. Now that should do it for the front shove. If you like the video, please give me a comment, like the video, and then subscribe to my YouTube channel. I literally want to make like an encyclopedia of trick tips. I want to make all the trick tips. Thank you for watching. Peace.